Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we are going to do a will I buy it, did I buy it for the month of August. So typically these are done weekly, and most people upload them once a week. I found that I've tried that. You guys know your girl and schedules, they really just don't mix. So I tend to get off track with it. So I thought I might try doing a will I buy it or did I buy it, because some of these products have already come out at the end of the months. So that way all the products have kind of been announced, and then I can give a better view of one, will I be buying it? And two, if I've already bought it, so that you guys know I did purchase it, and that's probably something that's going to be coming to the channel. So I do have two or three products that actually were announced at the very, very end of July, like the last day or two of July, that I still wanted to talk about, that I went ahead and just added, because what's a day or two between friends, right? So, first things first, Kilian, they are coming out with a new fragrance. So, I think most of us know Kilian from Bad Girl Riri. I think all of us wanted to smell like her, because I know before her, I did not know Kilian. Kilian was not in my price range. It was not my budget. It was not in my wheelhouse. But once Bad Girl Riri, then all of a sudden, I had an interest in Kilian. So, Kilian has released this gorgeous campaign for the fragrance called Apple Brandy. It's so aesthetically pleasing. It looks just like a brandy glass, a crystallized glass, and the color of the fragrance is a very light hued, Chanel colored kind of yellow, to kind of resemble apple, but also resemble kind of like a light hued alcoholic beverage in a glass. It is very beautiful. I'm looking forward to potentially maybe putting this on my Christmas list, or my birthday list, or my anniversary list, because they all fall right next to each other. This is $195. I know. Take a step back, come forward again. $195. It says it's in the fragrance family of fresh. The scent type is fresh, citrus, and fruits, and the keynotes are bergamot, pineapple, and cardamom. Now, I find that to be slightly weird because it's called Apple Brandy. The campaign has apples, but yet the scent notes are bergamot, pineapple, and cardamom. Now, I'm thinking that maybe the cardamom is going to give the apple essence kind of like that cinnamony, very warm essence to it, almost like a Michael's shot. And then the pineapple, because it's a sweet fruit, will almost make the nose think it's smelling like a sugared apple. I'm not sure, but I did find that to be slightly weird. It does say at the description it's a fresh opening of apple brandy, but they don't actually have it in the notes. So I'm going to say that it doesn't seem very prominent. But again, just like candles, they be lying in these notes. They'll have 15 different fragrances mentioned too. They'll have two fragrances and mention 15. So, or keynotes and mention 15. So let's not kid ourselves with that. But I am definitely looking forward to getting that one. I do believe Britt Clark said that it is on the Sephora website as of now. So Kilian sells up so fast, so I'm not sure how long it will stick around. The next thing we have is an eyeshadow palette that had slight controversy, and this was from Vanity Makeup Cosmetics. Now, I'm the first to tell you, when I heard about this, I thought this was Vanity Planet. I thought this was that company that basically tries to get all influencers to do a video for them that has those spin brushes and stuff. And I was like, Vanity Planet, why are they releasing makeup? And I was not here for it, especially because it was $95. Then I was like, oh, it's Vandy Makeup. So I looked on YouTube, saw they have like these contouring kits, and that it is an actual person who is the brand. It's not Vanity Planet. So I did purchase this. So I will be doing a review on this. I don't know if I probably will do a singular review versus just to get ready with me. This is a really, really pretty palette. What I can say is the packaging, that I think is really what you're paying for. It is quality packaging. If you're somebody who likes luxury makeup, there was no skimping on the actual box and on the actual packaging for the makeup itself. You're not getting something lightweight. You're getting like Pat McGrath style with this. So that I can say is true. The colors look pretty. They very much so resemble the Tati palette. So maybe in the workings there will be a little bit of a comparison with that one. But that did release July 30th, and I did get that. The next thing we have from ColourPop, and these were some lipstick pencils, so just some lining pencils. They had a red set called Bring the Heat, and they had a brown neutral set called Truth or Bear. I did get these in PR. I do have them. I think the red ones are slightly overdone because I don't know. I mean, unless you're a red lipstick guy or gal, I mean, maybe that's your thing. But I think that the nudes were a little bit better. However, I think they definitely can be used, especially if you're somebody who maybe is a little more like me and doesn't really do a ton of lipstick, but would definitely line their full lips and then put a gloss over the top of it. That could be where these could come in really handy. But these are really nice. These released on July 27th. And I think that they definitely are nice sets. I think they're definitely ramping up for the holiday season. If you don't know, ColourPop does have a lot of their mega sets on sale once the holiday time starts to roll around. The next thing we have is another fragrance. This is from Ariana Grande. This is the God is a Woman fragrance. The bottle, not loving it. It looks very celebrity perfume-esque a la Walmart. Not that there's anything wrong with Walmart. Not that there's anything wrong with celebrity fragrance. I'm just saying that this is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it. Very different from Killian. You know, I just don't see the wow factor that necessarily went into it. I know that the bottle seems to be the what would be the shaping of a woman. It seems like it curves in like an hourglass. Maybe the center. You know how a woman is infinite, all knowing, all everything, but also very pure, pure in heart. I maybe that is what they're trying to go with here. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit and I'm just adding too much sauce to this plain ass bottle. I don't know. Either way, I will definitely be skipping this one. Although her clouds or sugar clouds or whatever it is, I had a little sample of that. That one actually smelled good, but I'm not going to get a big bottle of that. Next, we have Violet Voss, the Care Bears palette. So I do have little Care Bears here. My husband always calls me Care Bear because of my nose. Not quite sure where that comes from as far as where he sees on that, but very adorable. This palette itself, not into it, but they did come out with a smaller version of this that's a little bit more pastel-y. That one I did get, but this big one, not really. Violet Voss is a sad, sad story. This palette right here is $36. If you get the mini palette, which I think is a better color story to begin with, I think that was $18. I would go with that one. Because this right here is just kind of like a rainbow palette, which we probably have all over. And it's just the packaging is incredibly cute. But I remember when Violet Voss was really doing the thing. I remember when they first collaborated with Laura Lee, and they really were just that girl. And then, I don't know if it's because I tried to do like a color pop, and they tried to come out with too many palettes. First, they were like a Morphe. They had these really big palettes. Then those kind of faded out. Nobody wanted big palettes. And then I feel like they became like a color pop, like trying to release a lot of palettes and smaller ones and midi sizes. And I just think people are kind of done with it. I do love a good Violet Voss, but they very much so are representative in BoxyCharm a lot. And so I think that you don't necessarily need to buy them in like a Sephora because you can just wait for BoxyCharm or wait for a sale because undoubtedly it will be there. So that's a no for me. The next thing is the Kylie Cosmetics. This was for her 24th birthday. I was shook to find out she was only 24. I don't know why I thought she was like coming up on her 30th birthday. So 24 years old. This is a 24K palette. This is August 10th is when this released. I have to say inside the shadows look plain and bland. However, they're neutral, wearable. I could see why you'd want this palette. It has a lot of shimmer, but it has a lot of very kind of signature grounding shades in it. When I saw the swatches, I thought the swatches spoke a little bit better than the palette itself. But this is always going to be a no for me because when I look at this cover, look, I think Kylie is a beautiful, beautiful person. She seems like she is a lovely person inside and out. But I don't want her aesthetically on my palette. Her name, sure. But this palette is giving me very kind of prepubescent vibes, where you convince your mother that you need this palette and you need this for a lot of other reasons besides the makeup that's inside. It also reminds me of people who aren't prepubescent who really enjoy Kylie, and this is kind of a way to seemingly less creepily have this type of aesthetic from her. Needless to say, I don't need her to be on my palette like this, but I think that definitely there's somebody out there who's going to enjoy that palette in more ways than one. The next thing we have is another fragrance. Fragrances are just dropping like it's hot right now. So this is the Kali. I think that's what this is called. Kali. So this is the Kali. I believe this is from Huda Beauty. This is number 23. And this is supposed to be a divinely sensual, decadent, and enticing fragrance with an addictive allure. The notes on the top are black cherry, honey, tobacco leaf, chocolate hazelnut. My mid notes are rose centrifolia, absolute rose, damascena, and citrus leaf. And the base is oud oil, cypriol, firmenich, amber, sandalwood, patchouli, vanilla. So it smells like I can smell through here. I surely can't. It sounds like this smells like a very warm amber scent where it's going to have, I would say, probably smell like warm amber with a bit of that tobacco scent, almost fire scent, lingering with a subdued cherry and a slightly pungent rose, like when your flowers haven't completely died and dried out, but are between the drying state and kind of being fresh and super pungent. It sounds like it's going to smell good. These bottles are always gorgeous. They're very minimalistic, but they are very beautiful. I like the shapes of them. And this is 100 milliliters for $138, 50 milliliters for $100, and 10 milliliters for $27. So I think if you have the coins to spend and you're thinking about the 50 milliliter for 100, you might as well just go ahead and get the 100 milliliter, double the size for 138. So for $38 more. And that was August 24th that released. The next thing we have is from Make Beauty Official, and this is the Pink Matter Multi-Balm. This supposedly you can use it for your lips, your eyes, your elbows, whatever you need to remain juicy, you could use this for. Aesthetically, it's very beautiful, but okay, so this is what I'm going to say here. It's $24, so it's not a bad price, but what I'm going to say is I think that for the things that we have gone through in the past like 18 months, I don't know if many of us fox with the putting the fingers into the jars for lip balm anymore. You know, Fenty had that little one that they tried to come out with, and that pretty much just splashed and went right to the bottom of the ocean. I don't think we're doing that anymore. I think that we're really sticking with a balm that comes with an applicator, that comes in a component, and that things like this are things that we're leaving at home. Like the Carmex we're leaving at home, where we know the sanitization level of things. I don't think we're really messing with this type of stuff out in the public. So I think that we should have just left this right where it was, which is in 2019. And we just need to leave the jar lip hydrating components alone and just move on from that. The next thing we have is KVD. So KVD, I don't even know what their name is anymore. KVD Beauty. I think it's just that. I think they gave up having it be an acronym. But this is a gel contour. Now, they did come out with blushes. Now, here are these contours. Again, I did see Britt Clark. I believe she used this. I could be wrong, could be totally lying, but I believe she used this and she liked it. It's $26, and I'm here for it. I'm here for a gel contour, and I'm here for KVD really coming back in a lot of ways. I think they have some room to grow on their eyeshadow components. I understand that they're recyclable, this, that, and the other. I understand that costs money, but I think they could do it cooler than what they're doing right now. I think they could do it something clear, or I don't know, just something more than what they're doing. But this looks neat. I wish they would get done with everything that has the KVD logo in the way that it was with Kat Von D, because it makes me think that these components were already comprised before she left the company. So it makes me think that these were already things that were in the works. I wish they would come out with a different style of logo, because I always want to say Kat Von D every time I see it. So this is a maybe. I'm not quite sure, but it's a maybe. The next thing we have was super cute. So this is from Wet n Wild, and Wet n Wild has been coming out with some cute little things over the summer, but I think they've been coming out with too many things at one time. So this is the Saved by the Bell collection. Now, this is not for me. I don't enjoy any of these colors. I think this looks a little gimmicky. I do have the Clueless collection that came out from, just I was saying it, it just left my brain. I will put it somewhere around here, but I had the Clueless collection. I did enjoy that. I have not done a review here, but perhaps we'll get to that. This, I love Saved by the Bell, the show. This is one of my favorite shows to watch. I really, really loved Lisa, and I really, really loved Kelly, and of course I was in love with Zach. But this to me just doesn't bring enough essence. Like, it's like you're right there, but you could have went just a little further to really, really get there. The next we have Tatcha. So this is the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair 2-in-1 Serum Cream. This is nice. I feel like Tatcha used to be really, really talked about. And I think that when they came out with their primer balm, it was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then it wasn't so amazing anymore. Then they came out with it in a liquid and people loved that. But I think Tatcha overall is kind of losing a bit of its luster, at least in my mind, for what I'm seeing. I could be totally wrong about this, but it seems like they're losing some luster. This is going to be a no for me. It's $88, so we're going to stick with Jergens. The next thing we have here is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Smoke Envision collection. This had some liners, both gel and pencil, and this had an eyeshadow called the Mini Xenon, which was $25. I saw some reviews. They were hit or miss. The fact of the matter is, I love Natasha Denona. I did purchase this. I have not used it yet. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I did purchase this, and I think this would be a very, very nice kind of New Year's palette. Whether you're going out or not, it would be nice to kind of use that. So I did get that. The next thing I'm kind of hit or miss on. This is from Too Faced. So this is the Better Than Sex perfume. Now the bottle is what I love. I absolutely love this bottle. It's gorgeous. I just wish instead of Too Faced Better Than Sex on the front of it, I wish it would have just said sex on the front of it. And then either on the back said Too Faced Better Than, or down one side of the bottle it said better, the other side said than, and then the back said Too Faced. But I wish the front just said sex. I think that would have been a little more kind of elegant with this very Venetian-y, let them eat cake kind of thing that they have going on here. So I love the bottle. The scent notes doesn't seem like it really goes with it necessarily. Passion fruit, lychee, peach, citrus, floral, magnolia, jasmine, orchid, rose, earthy scents of sandalwood, cedarwood, musk, amber, and patchouli. So who knows what this will smell like. But I am excited about it. It is $105, so they did kind of, go a little much on that, but it's supposed to come out in fall, so we'll see. The next thing that I'm looking at is from Ulta, and this is from Buxom. So again, Buxom is one of those that kind of fell out a little bit, but this I definitely want. This is the Spiced Up Full-On Plumping Lip Gloss Collection. Now, to me, their plumping does not work at all. I don't like it, and it actually is slightly overly sticky, but I love the colors of this collection. I just think they're so beautiful. They're perfect for fall, and I'm here for anything that is fall related. So this I do actually want to get. It has pumpkin chai latte, spice vanilla latte, Vivian vanilla, and Pippa pumpkin. The next thing is from who else other than Pat McGrath. So this is the Utopian Dream Artistry Palette. This had a little bit of controversy. A lot of people were saying that this is too similar to her other palettes. In particular, Divine Rose 2. I do have Divine Rose 2. I only have 2 or 3 of Pat's palettes, but I think that it looks pretty. Does it look like you need it? Not necessarily, but I have seen people do some gorgeous looks with it that make me then feel like I want it. This is $125 like all her other palettes. She also came out with an artistry wand for $32. It's supposed to be a wand that's essentially kind of like a primer when you put it on and you put any of the shimmers or the duos or her special shades over it, it enhances them. I've seen people put it on their hands and you definitely can tell the enhancement. But then I've seen when they put it on their eyes, it really doesn't shine through the way it did on their hands. So I don't necessarily know if you need the artistry wand, and some others have said that also. So not sure. I do think that I might end up getting this, though this is a more of a yay than a nay. ColourPop also came out with the Disney Princesses Super Shock Shadows. That's a no for me. I have too many Super Shock Shadows, and these aren't any newer interesting colors that they haven't had before. The next thing that we have is from Juvia's Place. This is Brows. So this looks like a beautiful collection, very aesthetically pleasing. However, I'm going to say no to this. 1, because I already have brow products that I'm currently using that I love. 2, if this brow collection is as pigmented as her eyeshadows, brace yourself. Make sure you go in light-handed, because Juvia's Place is known for being very pigmented, and I can only imagine what the brow look will look like if you don't go in with a light hand. But the pencil's $10, the brow pen is $14, and the brow gel is $12. The shade palette, if you want the powder, is $10. They always have really good prices, and they do tend to have sales every now and again, so you can catch it slightly cheaper. The next thing that we have, I think is very pretty, and this is from Bobbi Brown and Ulla Johnson. I do not know who Ulla Johnson is, but this packaging is absolutely gorgeous. To me, this is where Bobbi Brown needs to be going for the future. Bobbi Brown, to me, is like Lancome, is like Clinique, is a very staple brand. However, they are slightly antiquated, and that's okay because their market likes that. But I think if they want to branch out into a wider market, that this is the kind of packaging that they need. And I know packaging doesn't seem like it's important, but I think it is. I think if you look like my mother or grandmother used it, although that's sweet and endearing, then it doesn't necessarily make me feel like that's something I necessarily want to use, even if it's a good product. So I think having this type of packaging could really push them to the next market, and it still keeps with their aesthetic of being very classic. It's not too out there, but just adds a little more of a new age softness to it. So I really do enjoy this packaging. I'm not getting anything from it, but I do enjoy the packaging, and I commend them on that. Ulta is now in Target stores, not my Target store, but it's in Target stores. I think this is amazing. However, I hope it's not kind of a failure like Sephora inside of JCPenney's. I like this because Targets are standalone, so you don't need to go inside of a mall. You can go and you can grab some groceries and you can grab some Ulta stuff. I would have liked to have had a Sephora inside of Target more than an Ulta, because Ulta already has standalone stores, and I also believe that Ultas are coming to Kohl's too. So I think Ulta's trying to secure the bag with the makeup game, and I think that Sephora should definitely take note and be afraid, because if they don't start making standalone stores, I really feel like Sephora is not going to die, but I think they're going to struggle because malls are dying. So the main places in which they are dying, and let's be real, who goes into JCPenney's anymore? And the Sephora inside JCPenney's was just so sad anyway, so, that's that. The next thing we have is from Dior. This is a beautiful Birds of a Feather collection. This is gorgeous. I do have some Dior shadows. They're very nice. They're aesthetically pleasing, but they're not for me because I have these colors over and over again in my collection. And for $65 each, we're going to say that's a no from me. The next thing that we also have here is from Clé de Peau Beauty. The fact that I even had to think about how to say that lets you know this is a no for me, because this budget is not in my wheelhouse. Not whatsoever, not at all. But I do think that the packaging is adorable. Charlotte Tilbury. This is a collection. This is nude. The eyeshadow palette is a re-promote apparently. The lipsticks look nice. The nude kind of Glowgasm face palette is what it is. Charlotte, again, is like a Lancome, and Clinique. To me, kind of antiquated, but has a market for it. I think if you have one thing from Charlotte, you have it all. I don't think this is needed or necessary. I've seen some reviews on it. It looks nice on the people who've done the reviews, but it's a pass for me, and I really do enjoy Charlotte Tilbury's holiday, 12 pan palettes that she comes out with, so I'll be looking for that this year, but that's a pass. The next thing is from Huda Beauty. These are her wild palettes. I have all of these. These will be coming to the channel. I will be doing a video on each one of them, and then some subsequent videos comparing them to some other palettes. These are beautiful Obsession palettes. Love them. They're gorgeous. I love the components that they're in. I think that the design is aesthetically pleasing. I think that the color stories are aesthetically pleasing. Although do know that the tiger one, which is this kind of yellowy brown one, that one is exclusive, at least at this point, to just her website. So you can get the other three on like Sephora, but the tiger one you have to get from her site. So just know that if you're looking to get all four of them. Anastasia Beverly Hills is coming out with concealers. I mean, right, I think that they're kind of a dying brand. I think that these are aesthetically pleasing. They're beautiful. I do have like the Norvina palettes. I have tons of Anastasia palettes. I do think that sometimes you have to be wary of who you kind of put in charge of a brand. So I think that things kind of went one way with the Norvina because they didn't separate the two brands, which I really think they should have done. And now they're trying to come back with the kind of classic Anastasia. And I think that now it's not meshing together. Now it feels like basically mom came home and realized you threw a party, you got grounded, and she made you clean up everything. And now you're stuck in your room and she's taking the reins back. That's what this feels like. And so it feels slightly like, the house is crumbling, the house is crashing, and there's only so much time before this is not a thing anymore. Not sure, but that's what it feels like. This I have on today. So this is from ColourPop, and these are the Feather Effect Brow Pen. So I have it on today. This is in the black brown. I really liked it. I really liked it. They sent it to me in PR, and I also have the kind of brow gel that they have here. The brow gel was slightly weird to me. It's hard. I never did soap brows. I put water, actually it was setting spray into it to get to liquefy to put on my brows. My brows don't feel crunchy, but they definitely are staying in place, so I did like that. It's very Patrick Ta-esque. I'm not sure if that's what I was supposed to do, but I did it. The brow pen I used first. I didn't think I would like to use a brow pen. I thought it would be too much. I love it. It's beautiful. Now, again, I have the black brown because there's only 3 shades. There's light brown, medium brown, and black brown. I do think it's slightly too brownish in some lights and not enough blackish, but I understand that if it was more black, it could have looked like Sharpie. And the only other thing that I noticed about it was that you can't, it's so light, you can't really tell if it's coming out or not. So sometimes I would have to put it on the back of my hand just to make sure it didn't dry out. And I think that's going to be a tough part about this, is that you're not quite sure if it has enough liquid in it or not. But it's a beautiful, beautiful brow pencil, or I should say brow pen. I think though, because ColourPop takes so long to ship, that if you do get it, I would get 3 or 4 if you like them, because likely these are going to go quickly and they're going to take a long time to ship back out to you. So I would grab a handful of them. They're $8. So take $20, get yourself 2 or 3, call it a day. So I do have that. Urban Decay, the Naked Cyber. Okay. Very 2000s. Listen, I loved up until about 2005. After that, things just went downhill. But I can feel a good 2000s vibe. I love the packaging, so I absolutely will be getting it. It's $49. I absolutely won't be getting it at that price unless I have a gift card, because this will definitely be $24 in a matter of time. Once the holidays hit, all things Urban Decay go on sale. We all know that. So if you can, don't buy things at full price from Urban Decay, but I am going to be getting that palette. We have Morphe. They did a Cherry Coke palette. Looks very kind of rip-off of Too Faced. It's neither here nor there. It's been done by them and others. Meh, it's a pass. ColourPop again. They came out with their astrology palettes. I did get all 12. Unfortunately, I believe it's my Leo came broken. I was so sad about that, so I'm hoping to get that rectified. But I did buy these. These look beautiful. They're more beautiful in person. So I didn't think I needed all of them, but I did want to, collector in me wanted to get all 12, and they look much prettier in person. Like, I really like them, and I'm not a quad gal. This has made me be a quad gal. So definitely I would look into getting these, and if you do, use code 5Londyn to get $5 off. Just do a shameless plug there, right? The next thing is from MAC. I have to say, I don't check for MAC. I haven't checked for MAC probably in the last 10 years. My mom was a MAC gal. She made me be a MAC gal. Then I moved away from MAC when I went to Sephora. But I have to say, this Tempting Fate collection is gorgeous. It's very Secret Garden, and I want it. The colors you have over and over again in your collection, so that's nothing special. But the packaging is special. This essence, this enchantment, very nice. I really love this. So I want to get this palette. However, I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. So if it's easy enough for me to get, I'll get it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. They said in September, at some point, it will be in all retailers. Right now, it's available in the UK. So who knows? I may even forget about by the time it comes out. YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. They have a new palette out with these gorgeous embossing lipsticks and lip kind of glosses that they have. The palette I want because it's just gorgeous, and I love YSL. Really love a lot of their products. So am I going to get this? Potentially. So we're going to say potentially. It says in October it's going to be coming. It's probably going to be $125-ish. That's a strong potential. ColourPop again, Sonic Boom. This is located at Ulta only right now. It is not on their website. I do like this. If you take out that magenta color and you take out that purple color, it pretty much is every other palette they ever came out with. But if you're a ColourPop head, then you like to collect because they're so affordable. So if I get the chance to get to Ulta, definitely will be getting that too. Wishful, this is the brand by Huda Beauty. I really like Wishful. I think they have a lot of really good products. This is the Honey Whip Peptide Moisturizer. It's 43 bucks, a little pricey, I feel like, but it does seem like it's going to be nice. It has Manuka honey. So I got the red light from my camera and I was looking down and it totally cut off. So we're going to have to rewind it back, okay? Rewind the track back. And we're going to have to talk about this again. So from the top. So this is from Wishful. This is the Huda Beauty brand. This has this skincare, this peptide moisturizer has Manuka honey, cica, and peptides in it. So it's going to tighten, firm, reduce redness, and give you smooth, soft, moisturized skin. $43 is a little much for me. But if they have a sample or a smaller version of it, I could see myself trying it out. Beauty Bakery. Super cute, but I don't really mess with loose pigments, although it's adorable that she made them look like spices. And I don't mess with brushes like this, the dual-ended brushes, because what happens is you're going to store them because you want to see these cute little tops that make it look like they're utensils. But that means that the brush is going to be put in the bottom and get smushed. If you do it the other way, then what's the point of having the cute utensil design? Because all you're seeing is the brush. I think that it would have been better if these were retractable. So if the brush went into the utensil, so it would have needed to be kind of extra long, so when they retract, it was still long enough to stick out of kind of a container. So that way you could see the utensils. It would have actually been nice if she came out with a little container that looked like you set it on the countertop that said like utensils and had like a little bow or said artisan on there or something like that. So I like where she was going, but I think we could have went just a little bit further. But the brush set's only 30 bucks. The glitters are 18. I like it, but I'm gonna pass. It's not for me. The next is Gotta Be the hair gel. Girl, they're coming out with not only mascara, but is mascara and edge. I'm sorry, not mascara. Please don't put this on your eyes. This is not mascara. This is brow and edge control at the same time. So you can do your brows, and then if you have your edges, you can go and get your baby hairs together. Okay. Next, moving on, KKW Beauty. They're coming out with a new fragrance line, and this is the Nudes collection. I want them all because they're aesthetically pleasing. And if one thing in the world Kim knows how to do right is aesthetics. Very minimalistic. This could have gone tragic in a hot second. And somehow she took these very minimalistic colors and she made them beautiful because they are different hues of nudes, because each person's nude is different. It's not just tan. It's not just cream. It's not just beige. Every person has a different version of nude because we all have different complexions, different melanation. Then she made it be not just a complete kind of square. She kind of gave it a rippling effect, almost like jeweled or like water. So it almost looks like the bottle flows without flowing. And then it's a plain bottle. It has no logo, no name, no nothing on it. So you don't know, is it lotion? Is it aftershave? What is it? And then she gave it, because again, I haven't seen these or felt these, but she gave it the appearance that it's heavy and that it's almost like a fine stone. So again, one thing she knows how to do is aesthetics, and this is aesthetically pleasing. Nude Sand is a floral musky, a floral woody musk. Nude Silk is a floral fruit green. Nude Soleil is a woody floral musky. Kind of just the backwards version of Nude Sand. Okay. And the Nude Suede is a floral oriental ambery. So I might, if these are in Ulta, I might give these a smell, because I mean, honestly, I would get them just for pure aesthetic reasons. Let's be honest. So those are a strong maybe. Makeup by Morio, brow products, unimpressed. That's going to be a no. We have Wink Lash Trio by Kaja Beauty. This is kind of cool. This is very a la Fenty with the magnetics. But I do like this because you have your lash primer and your brow gel serum. You have a volumizing mascara and a lengthening mascara, and they all kind of magnetize together, so you have them with you. So I do like this. I think that it's nice. I do like that when they're apart, it's flat, so it won't roll. Very Rare Beauty-ish of them. So the little Rare Beauty, the little Fenty, and they came up with this. But I'm probably going to say no to that. Next thing we have, speaking of which, you heard me. Selena in Rare Beauty has her own mascara. Again, I love the aesthetics of this. It looks pretty. I'm not in the realm for needing another mascara, but it is nice. Besame Cosmetics, they have the Cinderella collection coming out. As you know, they're doing all the Disney princesses. They only made 500 of everything, so you have to get it while it's hot. It is $125 for each one of these compacts, and if you're buying them, they're likely something that you're not going to use, so that would not be for me. But again, the embossing from what I am seeing isn't actually on the powder. It really is on the compact. So you can use the powder at free will and not feel like, oh, I don't want the embossing to go away, because you're going to be keeping the compact anyway. So I did like that they did that, because if you put the embossing on the powder, it makes you not want to use it. But if the compact is what has all the design, then you go ahead and use the powder that's inside. REM Beauty. So again, Ariana Grande. I don't want to count something out before I've even tried it. But what I'm going to say is, I don't know. I think a lot of times when celebrities come out, especially with beauty lines, it feels like, one, is this a money grab, little cash grab? Two, I think that we assume that they will come out with products that go with their aesthetic that they give to the audience. And a lot of times it's not. So like when Gwen Stefani partnered with Urban Decay back in the day, we expected like a colorful, bright palette. Even though she never really wore those colors, her personality invoked fun. And when it was a very plain palette, people were very upset by it. But I think sometimes we expect the artist to come out with, or the celebrity to come out with, things that we feel are the personalities that they're delivering to us. But in fact, it's either their true personality that they're giving us, or it's, in a scheme to make money, they need to appeal to a wide audience. So they can't just come out with, electric colors everywhere. They need to come out with colors they're going to sell for everyone. So I'm not going to count it out quite yet. I want to see what it can do, because again, people count out Rare Beauty, and Rare Beauty has some hitters. So I'm going to just let this go and see where this takes us. Lisa Frank has some nail polish stuff. We're going to pass by Lisa. I love Lisa. She was my childhood, but the way she has done things wrong here in the makeup community, the way she has done people wrong, don't love that. So we're going to go ahead and just go past that with a no. The next thing we have is from Be Perfect Cosmetics and Stacey Marie MUA. I don't know who Stacey is, but this palette is absolutely gorgeous. I think that is a fall dream. One half of the palette, you really have your browns, your oranges, your burgundies, just very rustic and rusty. The center, you have more of your beautiful kind of blushes to give you a softer, cooler kind of fall look. And then the other half of the palette, you have your greens, your oranges, your grungy, grimy kind of greeny browns. So I love this. This seems like it should have been a palette that was a trifold. But I love it. And that actually probably would have been nice, because it's big, but it's flat. The trifold would have been smaller, but thicker. But I like this. So this is okay, strong maybe. So $55.95. Okay. I would have liked to have seen it probably more at 35. I understand it's 45 shades, but I have these colors everywhere else in my collection, so oh man, if it went on sale, maybe. If it doesn't, maybe not. Next thing, ColourPop Tinkerbell collection. I got this in PR. Guys, I really wanted to get this up, but this palette is so uninspiring. And I've seen some people do some really pretty looks, but when I look at this, is it Tinkerbell-esque? Absolutely. But it's just dull. And then they made the pans are so much bigger than their usual pans. Aesthetically, I just don't like it. Now, the actual packaging is gorgeous. This is probably the best aesthetic packaging that they've done almost ever. But the actual pans, I think, are too big. And for me, it just doesn't say, come play, come do things. So I will get that review up, but every time I look at it, I actually have the box sitting next to me. Every time I look at the PR box, I'm like, womp womp. Next thing we have is kind of unique. So this is from BH Cosmetic and Iggy Azalea. I think that that's a unique pairing. I didn't realize that Iggy still was quite as popular as she was maybe 7 years ago. The makeup is cute. Very much reminds me of kind of like Wet n Wild. I like it, but I don't think that I need any of these shades. Although the palettes, when you see the swatches, look nice. I think that if you're an Iggy Azalea fan, you'll love it. But it's a pass for me. ColourPop again. Girl, you just keep showing up. This is going to be a definite purchase. This is the It's a Mood palette. I love all of their larger palettes like this. You know what? I think that the Be Perfect palette, not going to get that, because when you look at the It's a Mood, it pretty much has kind of that same shade range. And if you look at this, ColourPop kind of, I don't want to say took from Tati, because I'm not going to say that she owns this, that this is intellectual property. But if you look at the shade ranges, they kind of did what she did, where they took one base shade and then just did finishes and variations on the shade up the row, the purple row up the row. It's variations on the shade hue and variations on the finish. And so for me, look, Tati hasn't come out with another palette, and this would have been the palette we were looking for from Tati, with the greens, with the purples, with the turquoise. So I think she's kind of missing out the mellow yellow, because now ColourPop did it. So I think that she should come out with some of these same colors in the same way that she did it. And I like how they didn't do just like one row of glitter, one row of matte, one row of satin. They kind of switched it up in between there. So aesthetically, it looks like there's a lot more to the palette than what there is. But this is going to be a yes, yes, yes for me. Fingers crossed, PR. If not, still going to purchase it. Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl Palette. See a lot of people saying it's too much like the extra spicy, and pumpkin palette. See a lot of people saying that this is amazing and you have to get it. My mom will probably get this for me for Christmas, and I will love it. So I'm going to wait and see how Christmas rolls for that. And last but not least, was it Peace Resistance? Here's the big one, guys. Here's the big one. This is from Natasha Denona. This is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. Now, this is nothing like the mini retro. I don't even know why she does that. Why do you make minis of things before you make the bigs, number one? And then when you make the bigs, they don't look nothing like the minis. I'm confused here. Are we going for a vibe? Are we going for exacts? I'm confused. Let me know your thought process. Let me know what's up. Regardless, this is gorgeous. This is your maroon mauve heaven. This in the glam palette. Stop it. Yes, I did already pre-order this from her website, and I'm just waiting for this to get here. Because this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I love Natasha Denona. I am just excited. This is a midi palette, so this is her $65. So, love it. It has that beautiful blush color to it that she put the packaging in. I just really love it. Immediately, it was like, ooh, this is like the Love palette. It's kind of like the 300M. Like, if you don't have a 300M, you think your car is comparable to a 300M until you pull up alongside a 300M. And then you realize you don't have one. Same thing. You think this is like the Love palette till you put the Love palette next to it, and then you realize this is nothing like the Love palette. This stands on its own altogether. So I cannot wait to get this palette and give it a little go-ski. And this is September 3rd is when it's going to be online at Sephora. However, like I said, she did have the pre-order already on her website. I don't know if it's still there. But again, 15 romantic burgundy and mauve shades with grays, browns, taupes, dusty roses, and vintage pink. So get into it if that's your vibe. So guys, I think I like doing the monthly wrap up. Will I buy it? Did I buy it? Versus weekly. Let me know how you guys like this whole little shenanigans, because then you guys can know if I did buy items, if I'm not going to buy them, things like that. So we don't have to go off of just complete hypotheses the whole time. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, not 1 but 2. If you have not already, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be notified of all my new videos coming up. And guys, I did a whole look today with new makeup that's new to me and that's new that I haven't used before, so I'm really liking it. I'm definitely liking this highlighter, definitely liking the finishing spray that I put on. Very glowy, dewy look today. Gonna do a video on it, so stay tuned for that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, head on over there, see what I do when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes. And guys, until next time, I love you. I will miss you. I will see you on the flip side. I love you spending your time with me. I appreciate you. I'll see you later. Bye.